Hi,
Hello.
I'm so happy to be chatting with you. We've had many conversations already about things that have been stirring inside of us and what we want to create with them. And so we finally get to really get together and put our hearts together and really share the heart behind this creation that we have. And then the other women get to listen and kind of hear and feel into what we are creating together. And so, I'm Caitlin. This is Rachel. Rachel, would you like to start by just kind of giving an introduction and the things that have been stirring within you, and then I'll share.
Yeah, so I had a baby about a year ago. Prior to this this moment, I used to really be passionate about holding space with women and gathering and just having a place to reset my nervous system. And one of those places that I would always go to is my husband and I's land, our family land out in the country in Sugartown. I spent many days out there just basking in nature and just really breathing. And there's a creek that runs through the property. And it was just a safe place for me to really just like take the world off my shoulders as a nurse, as a mom, as a human being in this modern world. And so, it's been a while since I gathered with women intentionally since having my baby a year ago. And I just was laying in my yard one day a couple months ago and just resting on the earth and just feeling so much joy for being alive and just making it to this moment in time. And I got the urge to gather again with women and share the medicine of just connection and sisterhood and worship and prayer and breath work and movement and nature. And so I reached out to Caitlin and I was like, hey, you want to do a thing?
Do a
It's
thing.
like, of course, of course. So definitely felt called to go to the place that has held me so many times that I know will hold other women who feel that call to reconnect. So it's
Yeah.
a place that I trust and I have a deep love for. So, and it's my roots, Louisiana.
Yeah, there's something just so nourishing about Louisiana. I mean, like you and I have, we both traveled, so we've experienced other parts of the world, and like just the roots and the like the heaviness of the oak trees, it's so grounding and nourishing. And so
Yeah.
to come back to the mother feels really good.
Yeah. And I've traveled, like you said, and I'm always drawn to like the jungle. I love Costa Rica. It's a huge piece of my heart and soul, but there are parts of it where I'm like, God, the sounds, if you just close your eyes and like listen whenever you're in Costa Rica and you do the same thing in Louisiana, it's very similar ecosystems that you just feel that depth of like all life around you, just like overflowing, and you just can't help but be dropped into the total eternal present, which is
Uh-huh.
where
Uh-huh.
I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, more of that. More of that. Yeah. I'm really excited to create and share this experience with all these other women with you. I feel like there's a lot of similar anchors that you and I have, like nature being one of them, God, Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and also like the journey and the path that we have both taken, different journeys and paths, but the path of like really coming to for honor and reverence of our physical bodies, through the honor and reverence of nature, and knowing how nature is the mother and we come from nature. And so we are expressions of nature. And when we love our bodies and when we love nature, we are like giving God the glory through those elements, right? The elements of being a woman and the elements of nature. And so creating a retreat in Sugartown, in your roots, in Louisiana, being really immersed in nature and all of God's creations, being able to breathe the fresh air and be in the water and really touch and ground into the land. I'm getting chills talking about it. Like I'm super excited. And in these conversations and planning with you, we've been talking about, the women that we want to call in and the women that we have been in relation with. And
Mhm.
like you and I shared some of the same words of the stories that we have carried ourselves and the stories that we hear women speaking, and it's stories of, overstimulation and the feeling of disconnection,
Mhm.
and like, yeah,
Like
say more. Like,
static. It's just life is just static. And they're like, I know that I need something, but I don't know what it is or how to access it or what that next step is. And you can't make those decisions without being still
yeah,
and being in a place that you can receive.
yeah,
Takes completely unplugging. I know for me it does.
yeah.
Get out there and get away from
Hmm.
5G towers and the internet. There's no internet out there, by the way. Um, and just really be with God and
Yeah.
feel breath and the wind. My husband always calls me Pocahontas because
Mhm.
every time we go out there, it's like I'll just like sit and take a deep breath, and it's like God respond. The wind will just
Yep.
start blowing, and it's like, oh, we're so glad you're here, And I feel the same way. It's
Yeah.
like nature responds to my. It's,
We've been
it's
waiting for you.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Oh man. Something that and like then you're speaking to it is like environment is everything. The environment that you put yourself in is absolutely everything. And can you find stillness in your environment? In your environment that you are in, is there moments of stillness that you can have? And a lot of women are like, no,
Mhm,
there isn't. And I don't know how to create that for myself.
mhm,
And there's going to be moments in this retreat where you are able to find stillness
mhm,
in that environment to be able to connect with yourself. Because the sensory stimulation is going to be turned down, right? We're not going to have the
mhm,
children pulling at us, the husbands pulling at us, the tasks of being at home, feeling like we have to pick up our phones and check the messages. Those external connections are going to
mhm,
be limited in this environment.
mhm,
It's going to be really nice to be able to unplug, to really
mhm,
plug into source.
mhm. And be poured into.
Yeah.
Because that's another big piece of this medicine of this weekend is just getting poured into. And I think so many women really struggle with being able to receive. And
Mm.
you're in a place when that's all you can do. It kind of opens that heart space to be able to be like, no, actually, like, I need this. And some of the women that I've been connecting with, I've had so many people reach out and they're just like, I need this, but they're having a really hard time receiving this for themselves. And it's like that in itself is the initiation whenever you're called into a space like this, where you're having that tug of war with your spirit of like, I don't know, all these limited, beliefs start coming up like, well, can I afford it? Or you talk yourself out of it. I can't leave my kids. I can't leave my husband. All that is part of the journey back to God and trusting that you're being called into a space like this to receive because God calls you and being a child of God means that you're obedient to be able to hear when God is calling you into a place to actually be set apart so that you can listen and be poured into, and that you can go back to your family and back into your community and come back so much more full of love and life and excitement and curiosity. And just even if it's just a little seed that you get planted, that is enough to carry you through the next season sometimes of confusion and all the other things that come at us as women. So
Yeah.
we're pulled in a lot of directions. So this is
Hmm.
grand opportunity to come back
Bring it
into.
all back. Bring it
Yeah.
all back. Yeah. Yeah.
I love retreats. A workshop is one thing. I love me some workshops. I love learning. But a retreat is very different. It's not a conference. It's very intimate. Some women have never even given themselves the opportunity to explore a retreat and don't even know like what that is. And so it's structured, but there is still space for flow to be able to receive. So we have intentionally curated the entire weekend as an experience that you get to step into to where you're not figuring out logistics. You're not figuring out what's next. Like you step in and we guide you and handle everything. We take the weight off of your shoulders to where you can just breathe and chill and receive and laugh and
Mm,
connect and just be the woman that you're meant to be in this space
yeah.
of safety.
Yeah. So it's going to be a weekend in nature. So if you can just imagine yourself driving down a country road and you pull up to this open plat of land and there's this cute little cabin that has a kitchen and some welcoming snacks and some drinks and there's me and Rachel there and we're excited and we're ready to receive you and we've got this spot ready for you to set up your tent and all of your things to make yourself home, and you start unpacking your stuff, and then all the other women start to arrive, and they're just as hesitant but as excited to be there as you are. And then we build a fire and we gather on the fire and we just start telling stories about what we come with. So you feel connected and you feel seen and you feel held. And then you get served dinner that I'm going to make for you. Feel so much love, and wisdom in it because food carries such great intelligence. Food is the way we connect back to source. So you're going to have dinner and then we're just going to be under the moonlight, a breath practice.
Very full
What?
moon.
Full
Second
moon?
moon, and
Yeah,
spring is once in a blue moon. It's a blue moon.
the blue moon. So if you have never been on a retreat, you only go on a true retreat once in a blue moon, here's your chance. Here's your chance. And then like Rachel is going to really ground us in with some breath work. And then we're going to wake up and do some movement
Yeah.
to really get in our bodies and then eat breakfast and then go down to the creek and do some fun experiences there to where we're with the water and we're with the clay and we're with the dirt. We're really with the earth. And then
Yeah.
you have some lunch. We'll bring some lunch out there for like a picnic, and then we'll come back
Mhm.
and we'll gather again, have some rest time, some quiet time, so you can really listen in to what's there for you. And then we'll gather around again for some more breath work, dance party around the fire, some dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little photo
straight
shoot
up.
somewhere in there. All
Yeah,
natural. Like
yeah,
we're not dressing up. We're gonna have our hair wild. We're not bringing curling irons and all that.
yeah,
It's gonna be very natural.
yeah. There's running water.
Mhm.
There's cooking sources. There is a toilet.
Right.
So all of that is there. And like if you've never camped or camping is like, yeah, this is a really soft entry into camping, I
Mhm.
feel.
Yeah, because it's not completely primitive.
Right. Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
have that ability to go inside and get some air. And we're also gonna have a yurt. That's a beautiful little container to go into and kind of hold, I guess, the ceremonial aspect of it. It can be very intimate to be in a yurt and doing
Mm,
breath work, and
yeah.
so it feels very ancient. If you've ever just like imagine what it was like to be a settler or a pioneer, if you feel like you're a pioneer woman deep down in your heart and soul, like this is your weekend to like feel what it could have felt like to be a part of a village and
Yeah.
have a network of support of women who see you and honor you and want the best for you.
Yeah.
And it's really the simplicity of it is really what really activated, I think you and I were like, it's just so simple. Like we just want to get back into the woods and back into our hearts and in that tribal place. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
do
you're invited to come and receive the beauty with us, the beauty of nature and the beauty of the experience, and remembering and coming back to the beauty of your essence and the beauty of yourself, and really taking a moment to honor and connect with the beauty of nature.
it. Mhm.
That is also you.
Mhm.
This retreat is going to be the last weekend of March. Do you want to share a little more details about the dates and stuff of May? No, yes, May. Oh my gosh. See, this is why we need to disconnect.
What did you ask me? The details or the date?
Yeah, the dates.
Oh, the dates. Okay,
Mhm.
so May 29th through the 31st, we're gonna get there if you can. Around noon we'll start. So we'll have a full day. So noon and then departure will be like 3 or 4 o'clock on Sunday evening. So we have a full weekend, but still give you some time to travel back home and, prepare for your week ahead. I would recommend taking Monday off just to kind of integrate if you have that ability, and just kind of be able to sit in the space that you've created for yourself and just take the time to integrate because things will come up and sometimes it's like, oh, I can't quite go back to work tomorrow. You just need a moment to let it settle in with your spirit. But sometimes that's all you need. It's just like, woohoo, I'm ready to go. Now I can go for 6 more months without a break. No.
Sometimes we
But
can.
some people do. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yay. So if you
Mhm.
have any questions or you're interested, reach out to Rachel, Rachel Boggs, or Caitlin Sonia. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram, and we can connect over a call or something if you need more details. But we'd love to see you. We'd love to have you. We'd love to celebrate and receive you and just pour life and love back into you because we know how it is to live the life of a woman. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say before we end the call?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. Hope to see you there.
Okay.